Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Stevie.
And I'm JayJay.
And this is Chismosas y Mimosas.
Today we will be discussing with a special guest about the homeless crisis that is affecting our LGBTQ youth.
There are nearly 6,000 young homeless people on the street each year in Los Angeles.
Around 36% of those identify as LGBTQ. Alright guys, so this is our guest.
Hi everybody.
So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, my name is Alexander. I go by Zander for short. And I actually have a YouTube channel myself. It's called Closeted Conversations. Yeah. Well, it's a safe space to have an open dialogue about our life experiences.
It's funny because I watched a couple of your videos and then I was like, you're kind of doing like what we do, but I feel like yours are more like in depth and like more serious. And
yeah.
JayJay and we try to...
Which nobody wants to see it at first. But it's good. It's good content, I promise.
No, it is. It's good content and you're bringing a lot to the table. Like with JayJay and we figure if we can get people a little drunk, they'll open up a little bit more. It just allows people to have a little bit more comfort and talk about things that, need to be talked about.
Yeah, if we create that safe space for folks, which is the goal of the YouTube channels, if you create that safe space, then you get these authentic stories that you wouldn't hear in media right now. I guess going back to like years ago, 10 or plus years ago, I came out to my mom as gay, probably bi at first, like a lot of people do. She didn't take it very well. We had a lot of conflicts to the point that she will make fun of me. She was basically a bully, and I didn't, and it was hard to deal with that because after all, she was my mom.
Yeah,
of
course.
I started loving her. I loved her like I always did. Then I started hating her, and those two emotions were so conflicting. It was like, what do I do? I stayed at home, but just that tension made us grow apart. Mm-hmm. And so at one point, she kicked me out, and she said that she didn't want to make a gay son. That's where did I go wrong? These stories. My story is not very unique, unfortunately. In the Latino culture, a lot of times, because machismo tends to be a thing in the household, that, my mom was the man of the house. She was a single mother, and so she didn't have time to put up with, a little gay boy. And so I told my counselor I got kicked out, and so she immediately called DCFS, the Department of Child and Family Services, to get involved because I was still underage.
Yeah.
And
so then there was like this whole meeting with counselor, the people that took me in, which was a friend at the time in East LA, and my family, and they all had a meeting. And so at the end of the meeting, the agreement was that I was gonna go back home, and she was gonna be a better mom, and so on and so forth. Everyone was gonna turn nice. Things didn't change, and so then I didn't want DCFS to be involved anymore. And so I made an agreement with my mom. How about this? How about I leave? You don't tell anything to anybody, and we just go our separate ways like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And, llevar la fiesta en paz. Let the party just run its course, kind of thing. That's when I kind of started being, in a way, kind of homeless. When people think of homeless, people think of just the people who are in the streets, asking for money, things like that. But there's a lot of 50 shades of homelessness.
Yeah, yes, true. There is, yes.
Another word you can use is like displaced.
Displaced, right? Right. Or unstably housed.
So, were you at the time like going from like friend to friend, and you were what, 16?
No, maybe it was closer to 17, probably 17. I was still in high school. I think it was my last year.
Did you dropped out of school after that whole thing happened?
Yeah. So unfortunately, my mom and I that took a toll on me. And so I had to drop out and start working to survive.
Yeah.
So I started working for McDonald's, and I actually got fired from McDonald's, because at the time I was running with friends, just you were a kid. Partying. I was young, and I was just wanting to party. I wanted to do things here and there, I would constantly be late to work, and to the point they fired me. And I was like, no, I cried. I cried for a job at McDonald's, guy. Everybody.
Hey, a job is a job. I don't give a shit where it is.
Well, I'm crying because I was gonna lose income. You
I know, that's what I'm saying.
When
Like, you make
money.
your money however
Yeah.
you have to.
Right. One of the questions that people ask, well, how did you survive? What did you do? And so I worked, but I also started engaging in sex work. So for those
That's like a big thing that a lot of kids feel like they have to turn to because, I mean, they really can't get a job anywhere because you need work permits and stuff, and it's like the easiest thing to do.
Well, not only that, but also the fact that, you know, I mean, a lot of the young people I used to work with, you always like, it's so crazy that, you know, I'm trying to get a job to get experience, but then when I go to the job, they're like, they want experience.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, you need like
It's a
couple years
catch-22.
experience.
yeah, you know, and so then they're left with, you know, what do I do? I didn't do sex work for a long time. Well, yes and no, kind of. I ended up having 2 clients just for a few years, and so that's how I made some money on the side. It wasn't like I was getting rich.
It wasn't like a Pretty Woman story.
No. Oh my God, how many times have I wished?
My situation is I was stupid. I was in love with someone who was stupid, and we both made stupid choices. Bitch. And
I'm like, oh, like
And-
this and that. She's like,
we had lived
it.
we had lived with my family, and they got tired of our bullshit.
oh, do you have a relationship?
Exactly. So they were like, get out. It was either I stayed, but she had to go, and then I was like, no, I'm not gonna leave her. I'm gonna be there for her.
How old were you?
I was like, what, 22?
This sounds right.
I was like 22 or something.
Early 20s.
Yeah. At first, like, couch surfing on people's, like, couches, and we'd hang out with, like, certain friends. We're sleeping in her car. It got to a point where we started trying to figure out how to get money. So then we were like dumpster diving, and we were collecting cans. And back then, hotel rooms were so cheap. They're like not as expensive as they are today.
Wait, hotel rooms or motel?
No, it was that motel, you know, Hamburg.
Yeah.
You know that the shitty one. It was like a little duplex looking thing.
I remember that. You remember that?
Yes, I remember that one. Shout out JayJay.
When I made money from sex work, I sometimes will rent a room.
All we had to do was figure out how to get $35. And then we could stay in the motel another day. And I think we were able to do that almost for like a month. A lot of the times, like when her and I would fight, I would sneak into my family's home. Like I knew how to get into the house. So I would just, when they were at work, I'd go home and I'd shower and I'd, get clothes.
How did that feel?
Going home?
Yeah, like being at home for a second.
For me, it was like I knew that I could always go back. I was young, I was dumb. Like, you
But-
always think you know everything at that age.
You don't know shit.
You don't know
squat.
shit. I'm 35 years old.
Still doesn't know shit.
I'm still grasping straws at certain things.
To me, it was more about like, for me, it wasn't like about knowing everything. It was more about like, I want to live my life.
See, but yours was
You know?
different. Like, yours was different. Yours was because someone was telling you who you are is not acceptable. And yours was like,
I was like, fuck.
Like you didn't have a choice in
Yeah.
that situation,
I'm like,
you know?
because? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh yeah, fuck. And that's kind of what we're talking about. Is like LGBT youth out there today. They didn't have a choice in this. Like
Yeah.
people are just constantly.
They're put up for being themselves.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
So it just becomes like, why am I not worth?
Yeah, you think that coming out, it is liberation, it is liberating, and I don't want that to people think that it's not.
Yeah.
But that's always the question, like to come out or not to come out, and you always have to go through the pros and cons, but you also have to be aware of the potential outcomes of it.
Yeah.
Like I even
True.
when you were talking about going back home and taking a shower, things like that. At the time, my sister had her own place, and I went, and I think we went over like in the morning, and she was leaving to work or something like that, and she let us crash there for the day, and then we left. But I always try to find a place to like on my own. Like sometimes I did go back to my mom once in a while.
How long were you homeless?
That is so hard.
Or displaced?
That is so hard to pinpoint because
Was it like off and on? Or?
at the time, for me, homelessness meant living in the streets. I didn't live in the streets that often. I will couch surf. I will sleep in trains. I will go from friends to friends or stay awake all night walking or doing something just so you know what I mean. Before I sleep in the park, but it's
But
so
how
hard.
long did you live that lifestyle?
It's so hard to pinpoint, to be honest. Maybe a year, I want to say. Yeah.
What got you off? Like, what helped you and got you like stable?
So funny thing is that the people I used to hang out with, it was 4 of us, and we will call each other's I think it was amigas y rivales. I don't know if you know this soap opera. It's called Amigas y Rivales. No.
We're whitewashed Mexicans now.
Well, there's this for those who out there who are seeing this and know Amigas y Rivales.
Reina's off. Yes.
Yes.
If Juan was
Juan would be out here like, yeah.
If Juan was out here, he'd be like, yeah, I know what you're doing.
And so I was running the streets with them and just
So
hanging
wait,
out.
all of you and these 4 friends, all of you guys didn't have anywhere to go?
No, not all of us. I think the others did have a place, but they just didn't want to stay at home, or they just want to party, or they just,
And all of you guys
they all could go back somewhere. Yeah, we were all gay.
Were you all you guys sex working?
No.
Just you?
Just me. Yeah,
Did your friends know?
my story is very different from theirs. Theirs was more like, I'm just partying, they will always go back home. I didn't,
Did they know you were doing this, or?
Oh no, I just started talking about my sex work right now.
How long did you do that?
This was top secret.
How long did you do that?
Well, actively, I did it maybe for that time that I was experiencing homelessness or was displaced. The persons that were my clients per se, they kept, calling me and, to something like that. Eventually, we actually became a friendship.
Because these are people that you like knew.
Yeah,
right? And you like developed a bond with them.
Yeah, at one point they started just giving money and we would just hang out.
You still talk to these people?
Once in a blue moon, like it's like little by little, it's just when it just got and but I appreciate it. They never did anything to make me feel uncomfortable. To be honest,
how did you?
I'm telling you, I'm the lucky one. I got lucky. There's a lot of people, young people out there who are going through. I don't want to say worse things, but who definitely have a lot more going on.
How did you get into that? What was your first experience with that, and what got you to start?
That's a very good question. So. When I got kicked out, I started looking for services for myself. And so there's this little booklet called the Teen 9 Youth Yellow Pages. It's still out there, by the way, so if you need it,
what's it called?
Use it as resources. Teen 9 Youth Yellow Pages.
Teen 9 Youth Yellow Pages.
Yeah. When I went, I found a place that sounded for like Latinos and young people. I was like, let me check this out. So right there, I met this young person who kind of introduced me to this guy. He was like, hey, do you want to make money? Oh, because at the time I wanted to go to school. I felt so bad of dropping out. I wanted to go back to school. But college costs money, When they're like, you really want to go back to school? I know a way you can make money. And I was like, how? And then I was like, wait, I know. And so then that's how I met this first guy, and that's it. It was the 2 of us.
So he was kind of like your bodyguard? Did he watch?
No, we had to mess around together. And that was about it. But
so it was him. It was with him.
Yes, but it was the other guy, the guy who was paying us watching.
Oh, so somebody watched you guys.
Yeah.
So
that was
like voyeurism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
you didn't have any bad experiences? Were you ever scared? Were you ever threatened? Were you ever beaten?
No. I'm telling you, I feel like I'm one of the lucky ones.
Because there's people out there who do that and don't make it.
Well, of course. I mean, especially like for example, trans folks. Trans folks are definitely the number one, targets for violence and hate and all this stuff, With a gay boy, it's more like fetishizing and oh, what a cute little twink. I was very young and twinky back then.
Were?
No.
My mom was an alcoholic. She drank a lot. People come to this country to better life.
What are you guys?
My parents were born in Guatemala. I was born here, but then unfortunately they're faced with racism, xenophobia, sometimes people all they want to do is just work. As a single mother, all these stressors is what made her start drinking. And unfortunately there was no stopping. And so, now going back to your question that you asked me earlier, how is your relationship with your mom now? So one night I was at McDonald's and I was closing, I want to say, and I got a call because she had landed in the hospital. I don't remember, to this day I really don't know all the details. All I know, she fell, something happened, she landed in the hospital. And so one day she was in ICU, intensive care unit, and so if you're in intensive care unit, that's kind of like, whoa, like, it's serious, it's real,
And she was in the hospital because she fell?
Cirrhosis of the liver or something like that?
Exactly, and hepatitis C. You know, so especially if you're between certain ages, it's important for you to get tested for hepatitis C. So I get there, and my brother, my two sisters, and myself were there. My brother and my sister had to go to work. Today, I can call off. I won't go. Just you to go. I remember being in the room and things just going crazy, and I was kicked out of the room. I called my siblings and told them to come back. The doctor or the medical provider finally came out, and he was telling me all these things like going all the way around, and I had to be direct and asking, is she gone? And he told me yes. He told me she was gone, and at that moment I just broke, and I went to the window that was close by, and I just crawled into a ball, and I just cried like I never cried before. So to answer your question, did we ever make up? Unfortunately, you know, in the hospital we will talk and it was okay, but we didn't completely make up, and
there was no closure.
There was no closure.
You don't think that being there with whatever conversations you had, that like she made a peace with it?
Was that enough for you though?
No. It wasn't enough. It's just that we would just talk, you know. But when she passed, I felt so guilty because instead of being there for her when she drank, I decided to dissociate from her, which is totally understandable.
But yeah, you did what was best for you though. If it was
at the time,
if it wasn't beneficial to your health, then.
But I was always like, after she passed away, I was always so mad at her. I was like I mean, I hate saying this right now in video, but like at one point I kept saying, you know, I'm kind of glad that she's dead, because now she won't be a burden. Now she won't, you know, I won't have to worry about her. Now you know, but the thing, but then. But
that's okay to have those feelings.
You go through those phases, and then you go through that anger portion, you know, like.
And it's good to deal with that and address it, you know, because I mean, it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you love her any less. It's just.
Let's take a sip.
Yes, cheers to that.
Woo. I can tell you now that until recently, I finally made peace with it. I continue, you know, couch surfing or going place, or at one point I ended up finally getting a roommate at a hotel room, kind of like it wasn't a hotel room. It was like
a hostel.
Something like that. It was like it used to be a hotel, but then it was transformed into a little like tiny apartment, like bachelors.
And then do you like share bathrooms and stuff?
Yeah, I think so. Or you had a time.
Or you had that in Alhambra. I remember I looked into it back then because, you know, I was always getting kicked out of my house. And it was a shared bathroom, and I was like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Yeah. So then eventually, and then one friend told me, oh, you can move in with me, and I moved to stay with them. And then finally, when I saved enough money, I was able to get my own place, my own single place. And at the time, I was paying like $600 and something for rent.
If only!
Oh my God! If only we could pay that now.
What year was this? 1988 to like what
If only, God.
How did that make you feel? Like finally.
Oh my God! It was like a badge of honor. It was like, well, everybody loves awards or prize or whatever. For
like,
me,
this is my award.
Having my own home was like amazing, and a lot of my friends. Like ever since then, I've always had my own place since then, and I used to let people sleep over there. Other young people who were either experiencing homelessness or they just lived too far and wanted to stay over because after partying or whatever. I always let friends stay over, always. Mm-hmm. And I was there for years, and then I met my partner. My partner came to live with me right away.
You guys are still together now?
Yes.
How are you guys like a bunch of lesbians? You guys U-hauled it right away?
How long have you and your partner been together?
We've been together for 6 years now.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. We're engaged.
Oh, yeah. Where were your siblings when you were like going through all of this? Like they're older than you?
Yeah, they were doing their own life.
They didn't like reach out to you or try to like...
None of them took you in?
I think I never reached out either. But like I said, like earlier, you know, my sister allowed me to sleep there, you know, once in a while. So it wasn't like...
So she knew?
So yeah, she knew. She knew.
Out and about.
Yeah, but she didn't know...
To the extent?
Yeah, she just knew that I wasn't living at home. She didn't know about the sex work. I mean, honestly, if we watch this video, they're gonna
she didn't know
find
that
out.
You had nowhere else to go. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No.
Good for you. You're one of those stories that is able to like overcome and like you know, went through what you went through and now you're doing way better for it, you know, like it helped you grow as a person. Yeah. But like a lot of people don't have that opportunity.
Right. I do want to ask some questions.
Go ahead.
You said that you found an organization. What organization did you turn to help you?
So at the time, I turned to the only Latino queer organization that I found in that little booklet, the yellow pages, that is called Bienestar.
What?
Bienestar, like well-being. It's in Spanish. And a lot of people, a lot of people say Buenestar or.
Oh, Buenestar. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
So rude.
I'm joking.
I turned to them, and so there I found somebody who was willing to give me a job, and so yeah.
Like, what advice do you have for people out there right now that are still stuck in that like environment?
Okay, so some people who are experiencing, homelessness, they have to start with themselves until the moment that they want to change. And I'm not saying that they're choosing to be homeless.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
But sometimes some people have done it for so long that
they get used to it.
Kind of like that.
Like you have to want more, kind of.
I don't know how to put it because I don't want to also insult people who have.
But for like,
homeless.
but you've experienced it. So coming from
your experience,
yeah. Like, what would you say? Like,
we know this isn't like a.
I guess for me, I was like, I got tired of it. I was like, I don't want to be going up and down, have no place. Like, I want a home for myself. And so if there's somebody out there who's trying to reach out and say, I'm offering you my support, take it. Like when I used to share my story, I'll be like, oh, this is happening to me, poor me, poor me. And some people will be like, oh, I'm sorry. But there's one time,
and someone told you like it was.
And he told me just like how it was. I was like, oh my God, for me, he was like, what are you complaining about? I was like, what's the problem? And, and I told him, oh, because I can't get a job, or I don't have my ID, He's like, and so what do you need to get your ID? Oh, I don't know. He's like, then go find out, get your ass up, go do it. And this person just, went in on me, and I respect that person. I respect it because he told me what nobody would tell me. But I want to tell people also out there who want to support LGBTQ youth, there's still different ways to support young people.
Yes.
You can volunteer for events, you can donate money. Money is always good to donate, you can also donate.
Yeah, but if you don't have money, donate your time.
Some people also like to donate food, although I personally would not recommend donating food or canned food because sometimes, honestly, what I've noticed is that some people just donate things that they have and they've had it for a while. Donate things, essentials, socks, underwear, things that are not used.
Sanitary napkins for women.
Segue, if I may. So, one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this is every year, Rena and I, we donate our clothes to my friend's place.
Oh my God, my friend's place!
So love the place, love what they do.
Yeah.
So every year, we go through the closet, we see what we haven't used, and then we put it in the bag and we drop it off.
That's amazing.
So last year we did it again, but we had reached out to friends and family to do the same and to drop off their stuff at our house, and we would take it. And so many people donated. It was one of the most amazing things. It was really great. And the place is always asking for donations for socks and underwear, and don't give used underwear. Buy clean underwear and socks. But people donated their clothes, their jackets, their backpacks, their blankets, clothing. They're always looking for men's clothing. So with this video, we do want to put the information to my friend's place, but also the LGBT Center also takes donations. And if you guys know organizations in your areas that do the same, please donate. Donate what you can. It helps not only to LGBTQ, but it helps people that are out there.
It helps everyone.
Yes.
Every single person.
I would say donate to your local nonprofit, because there's a lot of nonprofits out there. And for example, there's this coalition called Connect to Protect, Los Angeles.
What?
Connect to Protect.
Connect to
Protect. They are. They
girls me up a little.
She's been drinking.
So they are.
I'm not anymore.
So.
Take it slow.
I know, right? It's not water. So
it's an hour, JayJay. It's an hour video that we filmed, and you tend to drink really fast.
Thirsty.
So there's a coalition out there called Connect to Protect, and so they're actually a coalition of all the agencies that you mentioned. So they support all these agencies: the Center, My Friend's Place, Children's Hospital, all these organizations. And so throughout the year, they always have Dress for Success events. And so they have 2 to 3 events where they ask different organizations and people to donate to them.
So I'm gonna definitely look up that information.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I'll list it on the bottom as well.
And one of the last things you can do that won't cost you any money is that if you see someone who is experiencing homelessness or is displaced, stay at the house, please do not treat them like they're less than.
Yeah.
That's the least you can do. Don't.
We're all
them,
just trying to
yeah.
live and survive, and you know.
Like, I understand if you are also trying to make ends meet, I get it, but don't give them your, little fuchi face or, or do anything to make them feel, because they're just, they're, like you said, we're all trying to survive.
So, anyways, guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I really want to thank you, Xander, for sharing your story.
And thank you for sharing your
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I didn't know it wasn't something you hadn't spoken about, and I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough with us to speak about it, and with our with our viewers.
Yeah, well, kind of like in my YouTube channel, I think it's time for us to
be open,
to talk about the stories. And not everybody's comfortable at that level. I am. That's why I want to say it. I read a quote the other day where it's like, someone's story is the key to someone's prison.
Very
Love it.
nice.
So we're gonna link all of Xander's information at the bottom so you guys can get in contact with him. Also check out his YouTube channel,
Please.
which has amazing topics, plenty to LGBT friendly,
Very yes.
Anyways, just go
He's
check it
got
out.
amazing topics, so make sure you guys head over there, give him a like.
Closeted conversations.
Linked in the bottom. Remember, when you guys comment, send him some love and tell him Stevie and JayJay sent you.
Peace.
All right, guys. So once again, thank you for coming on our
so much
show.
for
We
having
really
us.
appreciate it. So don't forget, guys, to leave us a like,
Subscribe.
and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Yours have the less amount of alcohol.